want answers.
I want the truth.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Realize podcast. I have such a treat for you today. I, of course, am your host, Georgina Grace, and how dare you not know that by now. But also welcome if this is the first time you're listening, and thank you for listening. Today I have a beautiful guest I'm so excited to share with you all. She's just divine. Of course, we have the incredible Nina on the podcast today. And Nina is a life path ruling number 36-9. Oh, what's super cool is that we have had some incredible guests in the past on the show, also 36-9s, and they have just been out of this world incredible. And Nina is absolutely no exception to that. Nina really embodies the 36-9 energy in the creative energy and the incredibly expansive and beautiful, energetic flow energy of the 3 and the 6 and the 9. She is just absolutely divine. One thing I always say about 6s is that they would make incredible designers. And then when you couple that with a 3 and a 9, all of a sudden that design work is all about healing. So I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful for you to be here, beautiful Nina. Thank you so much for gifting us your presence this evening. Welcome.
Thank you, Georgina. It's an honor. I've only known you for how long? I don't know. And I feel like I've known you for a lifetime. It's so beautiful.
So it feels like that, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's delicious. And that, I always say that 3s love other 3s. And as everyone knows that's listening, and if you don't, shame on you, I am a life path 303. You being a 369, of course, you're like the extreme version of a 3 energy.
So extreme. Oh my goodness.
So, 3s always love other 3s. They are just childlike, playful, and it's truth. When we're together, it's just truth. It's like our consciousness plays with each other, because that's what the 3 energy represents, consciousness, and when the other person's consciousness that you connect with and feels authentic and true, it's spacious and expansive, and there's just unlimited possibilities, and it's playful, and it's so much fun. There's no hard work in the middle. You know what I mean?
That's very true. That's exactly how I felt when I first met you. And actually, when I first listened to your podcast, like, I know this lady already. It just felt like home, if that makes sense. And when you did my reading, you clarified that for me. So it was just, beautiful.
It's so beautiful. So I would love, there's so many things, so many things that we get to talk about in this conversation. But the thing that I'm super excited about is the healing work that you do. And I'm calling it healing work because that's exactly what it's been for me, at least, that you do with colours. I would love to know the journey that led you to do and be this incredible woman that is an expert on colours.
Colours, yes.
They make such a difference, and yet people don't necessarily...
They're not aware. A lot of people
not
are
aware.
Not aware.
Yes.
I know.
I
think maybe also a lot of people are afraid. Afraid of colour. And I think that might come from fitting in, being part of a tribe, whatever people around you do. What you see that in different nationalities, how they approach, or different countries, how they approach color differently, different fashion. So that's where I started, in fashion. So long, long time ago, I did an apprenticeship in dressmaking in Germany, and
Oh,
I loved that this apprenticeship because you could really make garments for someone that fit that person in particular, and then we had these lovely clients, and they come back and get something made, and then you know the same garment would look fantastic in one color, and then the next time it didn't look right.
mm,
And then I heard about color image consulting, and there's a lady called Carol Jackson. She brought out a book in the 1970s about, it's called Color Me Beautiful.
mm.
And so I bought that book and then started analyzing myself from the tick list. Because back then, when I was younger, that's when we didn't have the internet. I have to remind myself of that. So
How bizarre is
yeah,
that?
it's really, it's
I
even for
lived
me, it's
before the
bizarre.
internet.
I know. And now it's like one click and it's done. Yeah, but so it was a book, and so I analyzed myself, and I analyzed myself as a spring coloring. So all beautiful, light, warm tones like light oranges, lime green, light yellows. And then I decided, after a few years, decided to actually do this course, this color course for myself to basically include it into my dressmaking skills. So someone could get something made, and then we do colors first and then choose the right colors for the clothes that they get made. And um, so I did this degree and then realized that I wasn't a spring. I was actually a dark summer, so dark because of my hair. I've learned the four systems, so spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Mm,
There's lots of different systems with 6 categories, 12 categories. So it all depends. I think the four system, I mean, I've learned it that way. I could do another course to do 12 seasons. But
mm,
for me, it's the four seasons. It's very clear. It's already quite overwhelming for people when you tell them, oh, that color doesn't suit you. It's not that I tell them, but we work together and we look at the colors and your complexion, and then it's overwhelming for people to then get a slither of color. So if you have 12 seasons, you only get a slither of color. And then you're very specific. Whereas if you have the four seasons, you have more of a broader spectrum and you can mix and match a bit more.
mm.
Um, yeah, and then I moved to Australia in 2000, and when was that? 2001. And with my husband, he's Australian, and I started here the same way as I did in Germany, making clothes and working with the colors and style, like help people clean out their wardrobe and um, finding the right clothes. And probably 2 years ago, I picked up through a colleague of mine, beautiful colleague of mine, Danny, if you're listening, it's you. She got me into Reiki.
Wow.
And I wouldn't have picked Reiki if I would have known what Reiki was. I wouldn't have done the course. Because I grew up with meditation teachers. And so for me, I did meditation probably until I was 12, and then always told my parents I was meditating today, and they were so proud of me that I was meditating, but I wasn't. I was just reading magazines in my bedroom, eating lollies or something. And so with Reiki, there's also a lot of meditation and going deeper. So if I would have known that Reiki is kind of a version of meditation, I would have said, no, thank you. But Mother Nature guided me to that. And it was such an eye opener for me. And because Reiki often works with the chakra colors as well,
Mm,
in my color readings, I work with chakra colors, cleansing them out, clearing them out, to really open up a person's sort of energetic footprint, I guess, to absorb colors and really look at colors from a different perspective. I haven't always done it that way,
Mm.
but that's just recently through that Reiki as well, integrating some Reiki meditation into, I call it a Reiki infused color reading.
Beautiful.
And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
It's so amazing. And I love this new addition with the Reiki. What I mean,
Mhm.
like this is perfect. This is you to a T,
Yeah.
combining the energetic healing that you are, the energetic healer that you are with what you do and what you love and the colors. And I just feel like a lot of people you can kind of dismiss this as something that, oh, it's just surface level. Oh, it doesn't really, it's not that, I don't know, important in the grand scheme of things and all of this kind of stuff. But actually, it makes so much
Mm.
difference given we literally spend our entire life in clothes.
Mm.
Like, it is so not okay to just walk around naked.
Not these days.
No, so our clothes are literally a representation of who we are. That is
Mm.
how we, you know, represent ourselves. And the colors that we wear, I had no idea before I had my own colors done
Mm.
how much of an impact the wrong colors for you can have, and not just how you look, but how you feel. And I know I shared with you about, my own experience with coming to the colors.
Mhm. I like that too. That's very cool.
Nina is currently writing down
I'm writing down coming to the colors.
coming to the colors.
Mm.
Yes, because if you've been listening to this podcast for a bit, you have an idea that I didn't have the nicest childhood. And, I was always a very feminine, wanting to be pretty and all this stuff that I just wore hand-me-downs and just whatever I was given essentially to wear. And I didn't really get much choice, and I didn't have anyone teaching me about style or color or what's pretty and not pretty. And always, when you have such crazy trauma, you already feel like everyone's staring at you. There's something wrong with you, and you're the odd one out, and, you're a bit of a freak, and all of this kind of stuff. And exactly as you said in the beginning, like there's a fear around color. Like I had a fear around, oh, I guess I didn't really understand at the time that it was around color, but that it was just around being seen,
Yeah.
and
Oh, goosebumps already.
yeah,
Mm. Mm.
yeah. And I didn't know, firstly, terrified of being seen, but if I was being seen, I didn't know how to be seen, if that makes any
Mm.
sense. And like I wanted to feel good about myself, and I wanted to kind of look good, as we all want to present ourselves well, but I had no idea. So I'd compare myself to other girls growing up that seemed to have an idea, and people seemed to know style and colors and trends and all this stuff. I had absolutely no idea. And when I had my own colors done, it was life altering for me,
Mm.
particularly as a woman. I mean, my husband's had his colors done as well, because he's like, I don't know, something happens and you just end up wearing black,
That's right.
particularly in Victoria. It's like everyone wears black here,
Mm.
And so, yeah, this thing with colors, all of a sudden, it was like I knew myself in a way that I didn't know myself. And I knew the level of clarity that this came with, that it doesn't matter what I wear. If I'm wearing these colors, I know I'm at least going to look well,
Mm.
and it's going to be pleasing to the eye. And I know for myself that it works for me.
It also, I think it takes away the pressure when a lot of people that I meet, they feel the pressure of fashion, the pressure of what to buy, what's in trend, all of that goes away.
Mm.
You actually walk into a shop if you have to buy something secondhand or new. You walk in there and you look and you go, oh, that's my color. That's not my color. So you don't even look.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
it's saved so much time and just like, oh, just the process of when you go shopping.
Mm.
You're going in there and you're just like, oh, is that good? I don't know. Does that look nice? I don't know. What is this? What is that? Ugh, all of this stuff. Now I go, if ever I go, and like I'm an op shopper. I love an op shop. I love op shops because you buy things and not everyone's got it.
Mm.
So it's always something unique and different. And also the price is great.
Mm.
But I love the uniqueness of op shopping and I've always loved it. And now it's just, I just go straight. A lot of op shops color code things as well. So it's just like I go straight to my colors. Is there anything there I actually like? What's the shape of it? All of this. If yes, great. If no, it's just, it saves so much time, so much energy, and so much heartbreak, honestly, and there's so much that I used to buy that I'd be like, this is kind of what people are wearing, and I feel like I should feel good in it, but I just don't feel good in it,
Mm.
and your clothes make such a difference because it's literally, like I said, it's, we are living our entire lives in our clothes,
Mm. We do, yeah.
you know.
Do, do you feel that knowing your colors, your confidence has changed?
Unbelievably,
Mm.
unbelievably, like um, because I'm not unsure.
Yeah.
I know for a fact this color works with my skin tone. It's going to make me look alive. It's going to make me look well and healthy. It's going to be something that people will compliment me on looking good in something versus, oh, that's a nice dress. That's a nice
That's
top.
right. Yeah.
So I just know it doesn't matter how I feel on any given day. It doesn't matter,
Hmm.
what it is. I know that these colors are going to bring out the best in me. And that in itself gives me so much confidence and just knowing
It's
so
kind of
bad.
a freedom as well, isn't it?
Oh,
Freedom. Freedom just to, I mean, you can go with trends. There's nothing wrong with that. But
no.
it just the freedom of just to be like being yourself
Yeah.
and glow and shine in your colors.
Yeah, and there's
Mm.
just, if you're going to be wearing clothes, I think why not wear clothes that you actually feel so good in,
Mm.
because it makes such a difference. I used to go, and have a running dialogue whenever I'm interacting with anybody in life. It could be down at the cafe or at the shops or a friend, the running dialogue constantly. And oh my gosh, like they look so good. And what are they wearing? And oh, I knew I shouldn't have worn this today. And because there's just unclarity. I just have no idea what looks good,
Mm.
and what looks good in general, what looks good on me. So is that like when you do your color readings for people, what is like the best part of it?
The best part for me is when they actually start seeing the effect of color um, in their face and their complexion. So it's mainly around your face. So it
Mm,
doesn't really matter what you wear on the bottom. However, I have my whole wardrobe is around those colors because
of
it's just so
course.
easily mix and match. There's a few odds in there,
Yeah.
but it's so easy just to go in the morning. I don't have to worry about what to put on. Today is this weather. Okay, I put that one on. And it's just so easy. And when I have a client, and I see the realization what that color actually does to their face is so beautiful, so
Mm,
beautiful. And what I've had with this Reiki infused color reading is you see the person for who they are. like that deep energy. And when that can come out through the color, it's almost like this butterfly that's
Mm.
coming out of that cocoon. It is so rewarding for me as well. I always get teary.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. Yeah.
So, so, so beautiful. I'm just so grateful that you're doing this. And it's like, I just want it to be so popular that everybody is doing it because it just makes life so much easier. And like you said, you just, it doesn't matter. You don't have to think about what you wear because everything's going to look good. And you can mix and match and it all looks good. But could you explain a little bit about how it works?
Yeah, of course. So I would come to someone's house, or I've done actually online readings
Oh,
as
you
well.
do online reading.
Yeah, they take a little bit longer for me on my end,
Yeah.
because I have to prepare it all online, in my own time.
Yeah.
Not sorry in my throat. Of course, when you have a podcast,
Yes.
my voice is not that great right now. But that's okay. I'll go with the flow. Um, so I prepare that beforehand.
Yeah.
So I need an image from that client, and then I put sort of color banners and shirts, like little shirts around them,
Yeah.
all digital. And then we have an online meeting as well. And yeah, go through the process of reading the color in the face and what it does. And you'd think you won't be able to see that on a screen, but it's incredible as well.
Yeah.
I've had clients in Belgium, in America, so it's very interesting.
It's
And
amazing.
it's not that, there's people over there who do it too.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have a connection with a person. So it's really important when you do your color reading that you do it with a person that you feel connected to. So if it
Totally.
does make sense to you, that you feel home, very important. So when I do them in person, it's at a person's house, in their own environment. I bring a mirror, has lighting as
Mm.
well, and we drape different fabrics around it. If I do the Reiki infused color reading, we do a Reiki meditation beforehand
Mm.
and really get in the flow of colors and clearing out all those chakras,
Mm.
because we all have these perception of colors. So you might think, oh, this yellow reminds me of my school uniform, or my mother told me I can't wear red, or any of these kind of perceptions that we have, and we build them up in our minds, and they're not necessarily true.
Mm.
So there's different yellows.
Mm.
What shade of yellow suits you, what shade of red suits you. So, but if you have that closed off, it's really difficult to break through. So sometimes when I do the colors, I I get that my client not I put the mirror so high up that you actually can't see the colors and only your face.
Oh,
And the
wow.
reflection of the colors still does something within your face and
Yeah.
changes, make your face glow, and
Yeah.
preferably no makeup on. So it's
Yeah.
sometimes a bit confronting because you look at yourself for, half an hour in the mirror, and I point out all these different little things. And I always say to my clients, don't feel like you have more problems afterwards. My nose is too big, or, one eyebrow higher up. So all of these things can happen. Like we all have different, like
Yeah.
our faces, left and right side, completely different. They're
Yeah.
not symmetrical. And
Yeah.
so I see that when my trained eye can see that, and then I point that out to my client, what happens, so that face shape always stays the same, but with some colors, it can come out more than with other colors. And
Yeah.
it's not that people point that out when they see you in the street, but that subtle difference can make, yeah, it just makes a person glow or just make a person look really tired,
Mm.
exhausted, yellow. Like there's all these different kind of shades and things that happen when
Yeah.
during these sessions.
So, because what I've learned is that, when you are wearing colors, your colors that are best for you, it can, because it's to do with the pigmentation in your skin, like your underlying pigmentation of
That's
your
right.
skin. And then, of course, the light reflects the color, which reflects your skin. And then it's like it radiates or it's like it shadows almost. And
Yeah,
I,
beautiful.
yeah. And so, um, the wrong color can literally make your nose look bigger. It can make you look older because you have more shadow in your face. It can make you look sick or unwell because you've got a dullness going on because the colors, the way that the light is reflecting onto your skin it's not a match, so to speak. And it can literally make you look like you've got more rolls in
Hmm.
places and heavier and tireder. And yeah, like you start to notice the one eye bigger than the other and the eyebrow in different, so it just makes such a difference.
It
And it's
does.
and it's so much fun wearing color. It's so much fun wearing color and living in color and yeah, it's so, so, so much fun. So, my gosh, I'm so excited about this. I just had to get you on because I'm like, oh, everybody needs to know about the impact that this really has in someone's life. Like it is not just a nice to have. It since having my colors done, I see the world through it now. And I'm constantly like, oh, I wouldn't have gone with that color. And, not like being judgmental, but it's just like if only you were wearing like a golden color, like a yellow or a brown, or
Mm.
it would just transform everything about you. And, you then flow with nature. And that's the thing. Like, I just feel like you look out in nature and it's balanced, it's beautiful, it's harmonious. And that's essentially what you do is that you balance nature for people, with the colors that they wear.
That's a beautiful way of putting it. It's also, I mean, in nature, we have different types of trees, for example. They have different colored greens, yeah? It's
Mm,
not all the same green. And so it's the same with people. They don't all have the same skin tone.
mm,
So we have variations. And um, yes, it is categorized into these different seasons, but there's some logic behind it, and so when you go by those four seasons, you have spring, summer, autumn, winter. You have spring, you have to just imagine after winter when all the fresh green grass comes out, the tulips, those colors, and it's kind of a light, but it has some strength to it,
mm,
vibrancy, because it's after that time of rest.
mm.
And then you go into summer colors where the heat makes everything look a little bit gray and dull. Not dull in the sense of, um, yeah, I don't know how to put it now, but um, so it's kind of takes away the intensity of that spring. And
Mm.
the green, for example, on the grass is not as strong anymore. It's kind of
Like
has
dried out.
dried out. And
Yeah.
that's the cooler tones. It has nothing to do with the temperature, but they are the cooler tones,
Yeah.
soft, cool tones. And then you go into autumn, everyone knows what autumn looks like when the
Yeah.
leaves turn. And
Yeah.
it's just such an abundance of color and depth and strength.
Yeah.
And then, and it's also a season of harvesting,
Mm.
bringing in all beautiful food. So you can really, really dive deep into that as well.
Yeah.
And then winter is obviously the season for rest, where the nature rests. And just look at snowy mountains. You have the snow, the trees look almost black in the steel blue sky. And I
Yeah.
guess you said to me you're winter, yeah?
Yes, I'm winter. I'm a winter.
And so winter is pretty much the only season that shines in black.
Mm.
And but winter really wants that contrast of that white, black, and steel blue sky. So this
Yeah.
bright sky. So they work really well with three color combinations. So really brighten it up as well. And there's so many little techniques you can go about, but for me, nature and food as well. When you
Yeah.
look at that, what's in that season, you can really pick your colors as well. So it's
Mm.
not just yeah, this is the winter colors and this is the spring. So
There's so
yeah,
many variations, and yeah.
definitely
Yeah, and I've like it's colors can either be, and correct me if I'm wrong, I may be wrong. Colors can either be yellow based colors or blue based colors, right?
correct. Correct.
So then the yellow base, the like even if it's a blue, that blue can be a yellow based blue. So then that yellow underlying the blue, that is what will reflect from, the light in your skin. And if I wore a yellow based blue, that would probably wash me out.
Correct.
But blues, generally speaking, like midnight blue, royal blue, all these blues, they look amazing. Like I
Yeah.
look great
Yeah.
in deep blue. How do you do this for a living? I can't do it for like once.
Maybe I don't
Blue
use those
based,
words.
blue based blues. That is
That
a
is difficult, yeah.
blue, blue. Maybe it's the lipstick you made me wear.
It's not a blue lipstick, but blue-based lipstick.
Blue based lipstick. Yes. Yeah. And so that kind of helps me when I'm out shopping as well, because it's so subtle, the difference. Like one red, like two reds are not the same. And you can
That's right.
get if I wore a yellow based red, that's like so close to the next blue. Oh, it changes everything. So
Totally.
I'm like constantly trying to train my eye. Is that a bit too yellow based? Is that too warm looking? And so and yeah, did that make any sense at all what I said?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the challenge sometimes, especially when you go for so the two warm colors or seasons are the spring and the autumn.
Mm,
They have a lot of yellows in them,
yeah.
and the cooler based ones are summer and winter, and and so they have a lot of blue in it.
Mm,
So yes, you can have a blue that has a yellow undertone, but if it's or sorry, you have a blue that is a cool undertone, and then you have the blue that has a yellow undertone, but blue is always a cool color.
yeah.
So you want, if you are a warm coloring, you want to have that warmth combined with the blue. So
Yeah.
even if you pick the wrong blue, if you have your warmer tones with it, beautiful. So
Mm,
for you, if you pick a warmer red, but if you wear it with black and white, you won't notice it so much.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I notice how quickly, and we have to talk about the color white. Do you consider white a color?
Yeah, I would consider white a color. Black is that is not considered a color,
Not considered a color. Mm.
but because it equals the color out, but whereas white has all the colors in it. So
Oh, that's so cool. Say that again. White has all the colors in it.
yeah, so it's like the
Like,
spectrum of colors,
of course, of course.
the light. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
why didn't I even, that's a duh, that makes total sense. But
Mm.
black cancels everything out. So yeah, because whites can get you. Whites can really get you. I find I have to wear the crispest, whitest
Yes,
white,
correct.
slight cream, slight,
Mm.
I'm gone. I'm washed out. I look sickly. All of a sudden, you see my chin. You see like the shades around my nose.
Yeah.
And, I like it makes so much difference.
Yeah. And see, for me, that crisp white would separate my face too much from the shirt, for example. I would
Yeah.
wear a white shirt, it would almost look like my head's just screwed on. And it just doesn't work. Whereas
Yeah.
I need more like a chalky white.
Chalky white.
Yeah. Like
Mm,
a slight, almost a texture in the white. So for
right.
you, you want that really, yours could even be shiny like a silk.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, it needs to be more like a texture, like a linen or something. Then it would be a lot softer.
Mm,
And then you go for a cream or a really, yeah, creams are more for, obviously for a warmer tone.
yeah.
And an autumn would really need to amplify that with deeper tones
Yeah.
because cream would be too soft.
Too so yeah, because
Too soft on the skin.
my husband's an autumn. Ah, do you ever get jealous of other colors? Because I'm just
Yeah, I do.
he wears just the most beautiful colors. And not to say my colors are not beautiful, but it's like, oh, the browns and the caramel and the rust and the orange and the greens and the it's just like looking at an autumn tree and it's so the richness and it just makes you feel when you look at it, it just makes you feel warm and
Mm,
cozy and all of these things. And I'm just like, I would love to be able to wear those colors, but I look horrible,
mm,
horrible in those colors. And those were the colors that I thought I should try and wear because a lot of people wear those colors. I feel like those creams and I don't know, is this a thing? Maybe it's just something but I've found that when people wear those kinds of creamer colors, it's maybe associated with higher status.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, definitely certain colors, black, for example, is the same, like distancing yourself from others. And so
Totally.
cream is also that sophistication,
Yeah.
looking elegant.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas, winter, all the royal kind of colors are in winter.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Strong colors.
When I had my colors done, it was so long ago. The woman said that I was a sultry winter.
Sultry winter.
Sultry winter. And there were all these different kinds of winters. There's a winter jewel yeah, and I was a sultry winter. And apparently the sultry winters can do the deepest of the deepest of the deepest colors. And, you know, essentially she's like, you're a witch. Wear colors that a witch would
Wow.
wear.
Great to know.
Yeah. And my husband is a autumn leaf, apparently.
An autumn leaf. I love that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just so jealous of his colors. It's very interesting to see what Ollie's colors will be, our son's colors will be.
Yeah, it depends on his hair, his eyes and skin.
Yeah. So when you do the readings that you do, the color
Mm.
readings, do you cover the hair or do you keep the hair visible?
I keep the hair visible unless someone has really strong hair coloring. Then yeah, I often put the hair back though. So if it's long hair, I tie it back. Sometimes we put it down to see the difference.
Yeah.
But I prefer to see it with the hair. I've learned it with the hair pulled back or with a
Um,
white kind
yeah.
of like a beanie on,
Yeah.
and I prefer it without. I prefer it with the hair. It's so much nicer for the person as well.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
Because it is
Yeah.
quite like vulnerable.
Yeah, you're in front of a mirror and you look at yourself.
Yeah.
Your
For
own
like
energy, yeah?
your own, and you just like it's mirror work. You're sitting
Mm.
at the mirror, watching yourself and having someone tell you what's good, what's not good, what makes you look like this, what makes you look like that. And it's just like
Did you see the colors the what the colors did to you?
instantly,
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
it was like someone switched on a light
Mm.
when the right colors were there, and then the light went out as soon as it
Mm.
was not the right colors.
It's very typical for winter, actually. Switching on a light. It's very
Oh,
typical.
really?
Yeah. Because it needs to be or needs to have an impact, a
Yeah.
really strong impact. And that's the color it just works so well on a winter complexion. But there's so many variations. I mean, you can find a blonde winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That
I've never had one, but
No, but
they
like,
exist.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. And yeah, like I don't know. Yeah. It's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. And I absolutely am fascinated with color and people wearing their colors because it just makes them shine. And it makes me feel so happy when I see someone that's wearing colors that just make them look $1 million, but also they naturally feel so comfortable,
that's
you
true,
know.
yeah.
I think I remember after I had my colors done, and then, of course, the first thing you do is you go home and you and you go through your wardrobe. You're just like this. You're getting rid of stuff, and the clothes that I loved that I had for the longest time that I just felt so good wearing were clothes. that were freaking my color or close to my
Mhm.
color.
Mm.
Is there something about that,
I think I think people often, not all the time, but often pick color, or we pick color by emotion. Yeah. So we have this association with um certain items, like I wear this jumper when I got this jumper from that person, or this reminds me of this situation. So we have these kind of little experiences with these items that we love, and often or not, they are your right colors. Not all the time, but often or not, they're the right colors.
Mm.
And we pick these colors by our emotions. So on a really rainy day, we don't wear white clothes and bright yellow, or we wear clothes that are a little bit darker. So on a sunny day, you want to go and it's warm, you have summer clothes and they have beautiful prints on, so you're more vibrant. And
Mm.
that's how we pick up on that energy. And it's
Mm.
also, they've done research on room temperature. So the same room painted in light yellow, and then the same room in a light blue. And the temperature was the same temperature, but people feel that room in a different temperature.
No way.
Yeah. So yellow, warm color, makes the room feel warmer.
Oh my God.
Blue makes it a little bit cooler.
Oh,
But
it
also
makes
you
no
can,
sense.
yeah, and you can pick these colors for for business. Why do we wear certain colors for business?
Yeah.
Why is it gray, black,
Blue.
navy blue? There's
Yeah.
also been in America, they've done research on salespeople. What sells the best? What salesperson sells the most items? And it was always someone with either black, gray, or dark blue suit, white shirt, yellow tie, royal blue tie, or gold tie.
Oh,
And it's so we pick up on these, we have these perceptions, like this color is trustworthy. So
yeah.
someone in a dark blue navy suit is more trustworthy than in a brown suit, for example. Yeah. So
Wow.
but you can play, once you know that, you can play with that a little bit as well. It's not, that people see that and go, okay, that's a trustworthy person, or that's not, just because they wear brown or blue. But there is a deeper level to color than what we just think.
100%. And they use it everywhere. I mean, firstly, if you see me, the next time you see me, I'm wearing a blue suit with a yellow tie.
Yes, me too.
I'm getting myself. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, yeah, but it is definitely like color is used. Oh my God, like marketing and colors is a
Oh yeah.
huge thing. Like the color red and yellow together, those two, that's McDonald's, that's, that,
Mm,
and it's just you, your mouth starts watering when you just see those two colors next to each other,
mm,
and everybody associates those colors to that. Or red, especially, is throughout like so much.
what's attention, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
that's why some people can't wear red or don't want to wear red, because they feel overpowered by red. Like I used to get a headache from red. And so you need to learn how you place your red, where you place it, and what you do with it.
Yeah, because there's you were saying before, like which color was it? The warmer colors, I think, if they tried to go with a blue or something,
Mm,
so they wouldn't, if they were going to wear blue, it wouldn't be like their shirt is this one solid blue color. It would be elements and,
correct.
little pieces of it threaded through for richness and depth, but not
Correct.
necessarily like I'm just going to be a billboard of blue.
Correct. Or, I mean, so the cooler tones have little to none yellows in there. So oranges, like browns, yellows. There is variations of yellows in it, no
Yeah.
oranges. But what I do, I put them in my home. So I have like cushions that, are warmer tones, or sofa is a warmer tone.
Yeah.
And so for you, like you're lucky, you have your husband has the warmer tones, you have the cooler tones, but you might not have soft tones in there because if he's in autumn, there's strong and bold colors, but warm colors, whereas yours is the exact opposite in cool colors. And so you want to maybe soften that with some soft light pink somewhere, like my shirt,
Yeah.
or like pastels, like that in your environment. So you don't miss out on any of those colors or focus on eating certain colors.
Yeah, and this is a thing, like
Mm.
people will eat by color,
Yeah.
and that's like a certain food. I don't know, maybe I'm just making stuff up, but it's like certain foods. Um, I don't know if it's nutritionally or what it is, but they work. If they're the same color, then they work together as like this is going to be beneficial and easy for your digestion if you eat colors together. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Or am I making stuff up?
I don't know so much about that, but it could be, you could be right. But there's this beautiful book called The Rainbow Diet. And so there's lots of food books out there that talk about that as well and the effects of the different colors. And they're often linked to the different chakra, or they're mostly linked to the different chakra points in our body. And that goes back again, like for me, for example, my chakra colors are all the upper ones. I have none of the lower ones. So anything from the heart down, there's different greens and pinks for the heart. But then there's no solar plexus, none of the others. And so where do I bring them in? I have them in my home environment. Yeah. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, my whole family is the same coloring as me. So we
Oh, wow.
all have the same colors, which
Oh,
is
that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm thinking that mine is all opposite to me because my husband, opposite. Our
mm,
son, he looks amazing in warm colors, like
yeah.
creams, mustards, browns. He looks amazing. He just glows.
But you need to let the kids experience color. I did not, my son's colors, I did not do until just recently in their late teens, early 20s. Um, just because you want children just to pick their colors by their feelings, by their emotions, they're energetic, they're so more attuned than they know what they need. And it doesn't matter for a child if they're just all pink and pink doesn't suit them. Let them go do it. It's so important that they really leave the color. And
Yeah,
then later on, when they want to do it, they can get their colors done.
totally.
But really let them enjoy color. And often or not, children know what suits them.
Yeah. What they, and because it's all emotion. It's all just what
Yeah.
feels really, really good.
The energy is the frequency, yeah.
Oh, you're talking my language.
Yeah. The frequency
Oh,
of color is so beautiful.
so beautiful. It
Mm,
makes such a difference. I'll never, ever, ever forget how much of a difference it made for me in really just how I felt within myself. All of a sudden, it felt like I had this edge when my whole life I felt like I was lagging behind.
mm,
And all of a sudden, I was like, I saw the world in color. And
yeah.
it made me go, wow, there's so many people in the world. And not that it's about this, but for me, because I had such low self-esteem,
Mm,
it all of a sudden I wasn't comparing myself to everybody in the world. All of a sudden it was like, oh, there's no point comparing myself to that person. One, they're a totally different color. And two, they clearly have not had their colors done.
That's right. That's right.
So it made me, for someone who had such low, low, low self-esteem, it made me feel as if, oh, I know something and I've now got somewhat of an edge, like I'm not just an empty nothingness,
Mm,
poo-poo, blah, blah, all of the terrible things I used to say about myself. But it definitely helped build my confidence within myself and about myself. And then
mm,
had me feel as if I, um, sounds so ridiculous, but it made me feel as if I had had a place in society. I wasn't just like an outsider, this shadow, that was just skating around the edges, hiding myself away. It was like, no,
Mm.
no, no, like I can be a part of this society. I can walk around and not feel like a
You know what I just realized is that what you do and what I do is actually so similar
similar.
because it, I mean, you help me see myself like exactly, I could not describe myself,
Mm,
but you gave me words for it.
mm.
And the depth, it was so beautiful. And I think that's the same what color does to you.
Yeah, and they're both so organic.
Mm,
Like color is just a part of our world. It's our
it is.
birthright to know what we feel the most amazing in, and what just like who we are in
Mm,
colors.
mm,
I love that. Who are you in
in
color?
color.
How
Another one to
amazing.
write down. Yeah.
Yeah, no one to write down. You're going to be writing a book.
Mm.
Um, I love thinking about how different cultures relate to color because it's
Very good
so,
point. Because
I
when I first moved to Australia, this experience will never leave me. I went to CBD in Sydney and saw all these people wearing black. And I thought, man, so many people must have died on the weekend. Because to me, black was the color of mourning. But here in Australia, black is the color of sophistication and business attire. It's like you look, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to describe this. But it made me realize that even coming from, Germany, you wouldn't think it's so different, but it was very different.
wow.
And then imagine other cultures where black is considered, I don't know. I mean, there's so many variations.
Yeah.
Red as well, in Chinese and gold as well. Chinese culture, so beautiful.
Mm, And I love like the African cultures, and they are
Mm.
just, oh,
Indian
oh,
culture, the
oh,
colors in India, wow.
oh.
Africa, yeah, it's beautiful.
I love, like, when they do the Olympics and you see, or any kind of international event like this, and then you just see like the coloring,
Yeah.
and then these cultures come out, the Africans and
Mm.
Indians, and they come out and they're just a presence because they are just embracing the color. Ah, it's so beautiful. And it's so intimidating.
Do you think color is intimidating?
I
It can
think
be.
I think it can be. I mean,
Mm.
when you grow up here and everyone wears black.
Mm.
So fascinating that you said that black is like the color of mourning. And that, if you think about walking around the CBD, particularly, in Melbourne and stuff at a certain time, it definitely feels like the morgue and people are mourning. And it's like, maybe that's why it's called mourning.
Maybe, yeah. But
Because,
it's a uniform, yeah? So they wear a uniform not to stand out.
of
And
course.
it clicked with me the other day, like looking at that in particular as well. Because then if you would walk around in your you know, bright pink shirt and black pants and some white shoes or something, you would stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's I think what I mean when I say it can be really intimidating. Like,
Mm,
oh my gosh, like someone's standing out, someone's, ooh, I don't know, because I'm not standing out. I'm just fitting in. I'm just doing, and then these, particularly like the African cultures, they really embrace the color
mm,
in their, I don't know, just their way of life. They're so colorful in every way, like the music and the dance and the vibrancy in their being, a lot of the time is just when you're so used to just staying in your lane and
Mm.
keeping quiet and not making a fuss and all this stuff. It's all so intimidating, but so delicious. You're just like, can I just be a part of that?
But so maybe in past lives you were in Africa somewhere in a tribe, who knows?
Maybe I was. Maybe I was. I was
But yeah, you go.
sorry. I have recently learnt that I am my great grandmother on my father's side was a full Aboriginal Australian,
Wow.
original Australian woman. So
Wow.
yeah,
So there's that earthiness, that tribal coming from. Beautiful.
totally.
Mm.
Yeah. So, my dear Nina, something that I wanted to bring up is particularly with women.
Mm.
And why I think this could be so healing for so many is that let me talk about from the numbers perspective about this, and then we can talk about the colors perspective of this, because we have we're in the 2000s now. Two is a feminine energy. So being in the 2000s, we have, we experience more space to exist within ourselves. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
whether you're feminine, masculine, or who you are or what you are, but there's more space now to exist because the twos represent love, unconditional, all accepting, infinite love. And that energy being
Beautiful.
abundantly present means each of us, whoever we are, wherever we are, whatever we are, we have more space to exist because it's unconditional.
Mm.
However, there's a lot of us that lived and were birthed and, sorry, born, well, we were birthed in the 1900s. And the one and the nine together is also one, which is a very masculine energy. And
Mm.
I recorded a video today that part of the video I said everything that we've actually experienced of the numbers really up until now has been a an inversion of the numbers, not the true essence of the numbers. So
Mm.
while the one energy that we've been under being the 1900s is divine masculinity, protection, providing, leading, all of this stuff, which when it's in its true essence, it can be so healing and nurturing to the feminine and et cetera, et cetera. Except what we've experienced is just full blown domination, which is
Mm.
like a real inversion of this masculinity, of the divine masculine. And so those of us who are feminine, the
Mm.
female, the woman, our relationship to being a woman, our relationship to being feminine and expressing ourselves, whether it's our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, our desires, whatever we want, is kind of has definitely been um, quashed and suppressed and abused and all of this stuff. And not, of course, there is feminine within all of us, man or woman, but just to speak to the females, the woman's experience, I find that expressing femininity for a lot of people, particularly born in the 1900s, is like can be difficult when we've been
Mm.
brought up in an environment that's so dominating and don't express yourself. Like we get told not, like your emotions are not valid, don't feel anything, not
Mm.
necessarily in those words, but just, you know, a lot of us were not allowed to express how we really feel about things or have emotions or big emotions, small emotions, whatever. And so, what do you think the impact of this on when it comes to expressing ourselves in color? And, I just think how healing it would be to reconnect ourselves to color in order to heal parts of our ability to express our feminine within us.
Mm. Well, it's a very interesting take because when you look from a fashion perspective, it was very out there in the 1900s, 1980s, like all the, I mean, even think about fashion perspective all the way through, and color as well, all the way through from the 1900s to early 2000, like, or just towards to the end, 1999. That's a tongue breaker as well. Um, so that there was a lot of, it's almost, it feels to me from the energy that I just talking about it now, it feels like it was forced.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we have this fashion, that fashion, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and then kind of it becomes more muddled up.
Yeah.
And color wise as well, when you think about it, I mean, 80s was so loud.
Mm. Mm.
And there was no, I don't think there was room for, it feels to me there was no room for that reflecting on color, looking at the colors. I mean, broadly speaking, yeah. This
Mm.
is broadly speaking. It's kind of it was really dictated in a way. Color was dictated in a way, and fashion. And not that it has changed that much, but we have more room right now. We have a
Mm.
lot more room. There's more flexibility. Everything goes really. Even you see certain structures have changed, like color perceptions, like that was what I was talking earlier about, everyone wearing black all the time. It's not like that anymore.
Mm.
Um, and so, I think it is a lot softer now, and maybe that goes back to the numbers, the number two, and that energy where it flows a little bit more.
Mm.
And there's a lot more that can be done, but I think we are more aware of that energy. We are more aware of the frequency of that color, of the numbers, and yeah, people tuning a lot more in, I think.
Mm.
Whereas it was quite blunt in the 1900s, I would say.
And do you feel like be having access to knowing your colors and what you look good in as a woman helps you, empowers you to feel more confident to express yourself and express your specifically feminine, your femininity within you, because I feel there's such a strong, because we were really, the 1900s was a very masculine energy. And so
Mm,
women became anything you can do, I can do, very strong, very masculine, like almost hyper masculine, very
mm.
out of balance with the masculine. And so do you feel like understanding your own colors helps to balance your feminine and your ability to express that within yourself?
It definitely, I mean, for me, myself, I
Mm.
think because growing up was very different to a normal traditional German upbringing because of my parents being meditation teachers, as I
Mm.
mentioned earlier. We had also different clothes. Like we always, my mum would get something made for us from her
Ah,
old clothes. So we always had different clothes. For me, I was already always slightly different to the rest of others. But I think definitely that when you know your colors and you can really build on that, you feel that confidence, you that that flow. And that's for a masculine flow, it's a feminine flow, it's for both, I guess.
yeah,
And it's finding your true essence or that light in you that you are beautiful the way you are. Like you don't need makeup. You don't, it's the color that does that for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And that is the beautiful part of the color. That's where it resonates. And I think that's where you can build that feminine foundation or a masculine foundation in
Mhm.
each in their equal way. That's totally
Yeah.
it it's balanced, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
It's so beautiful. And it's a lot, similar to the numbers in a sense where it's neutral in the sense that
Mm.
it's neutral, but it's also extremely unique, So it's
Mm.
that's where I see the balance in that it's not, it's the colors don't care how much money you make, how
That's
good
right.
you are at anything, how any of that, whether that colors don't care whether you think you're enough.
Mm.
They don't care whether you're, you know, whatever, your bank balance, your self-worth, or they don't care about any of that. When you're wearing the right colors, the colors make you look incredible.
It's true. Yeah, it's
It's
definitely.
yeah, and when you're wearing the right colors, you just can't go wrong.
Mm. It's when you live your true numbers, yes?
Yeah, yes. And I think like every woman deserves to feel beautiful,
Yeah,
at least in their own clothes, given your clothes are an extension of who you are. It's no
very true.
different a lot of the time because of how much we do live in our clothes, that it's feeling confident within your own body, feeling confident within your own clothes. A lot of the times there's not much you can do. So to speak about your body,
Yeah. Well, the
about your clothes.
your skin is an extension of your clothes as well, when you think about it. It's
Yeah,
that your skin is your barrier of your organs, and so your clothes are the barrier of your skin,
yeah.
and that needs to be in a constant flow. And if
Harmony.
that's not in a flow, then obviously something's not quite working, is jarring, or you don't feel confident, and all of that contributes to that. So
Mhm.
when you really know your colors and you can wear that with ease,
Yeah,
then you glow, you feel more confident, you feel stronger, you feel more feminine, men more masculine.
yeah, yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's an extension of you.
Totally. I think it's also really important to note, like men, like this is something that will make a huge difference to you also, because a man wants to look well. They want to look well. They want to look like good.
Yeah,
And there's not just as much as there was no guidance for me growing up of what looks good, what doesn't look good, all this stuff. The same for men.
yeah, and think about it. I mean, a lot of women shop for their partner,
Yeah. Yeah.
is what happens.
Yeah.
They have exactly the same thoughts behind it. Maybe they don't analyze it as much as we do, but they
Yeah.
still feel the same.
Yeah, and I think it would actually, for a man who's very straightforward, you know what I mean? Which is most men, they're very straightforward. They do what works, they do the quick, what's, right now. Not all men, but, and if you've got a wardrobe full of clothes and full of colored clothes that looks amazing, then takes the guesswork out of it for you. You
Mm,
just go in there, whatever you pick up is going to look good,
that's
you know,
right.
and it's yeah. And something that I notice for myself is when I go out on the occasion where I'm wearing something that's not one of my colors, it's almost in my view. I'm almost seeing it. It's almost an obstruction to my view. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Versus when I'm just wearing my colors, I know this is like I don't see it because it's harmonious. It blends in and I'm in the world versus this thing feels a bit like an obstruction,
it
you know?
takes the worry away. If you
Yeah.
wear your right colors, it takes the worry away, and
Yeah.
you can be you. You don't have to, you're not distracted by something else.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. So, yes, I just think everybody deserves to feel beautiful
Mm.
in their own clothes.
That's right.
It's amazing. And just so you know, I just have to say my husband is an outlier when it comes to the buying of his clothes. I am not allowed to buy
Oh,
clothes.
wow. That's really rare. I'm
It's
telling you.
so rare.
It's
Like
very rare.
Yeah, if I'm to buy him clothes, he has to be there because he knows about clothes,
I love that.
and he's so like, he loves style
Mm,
because he's obsessed with film, and so he looks at film and the fashion in film and how it's progressed throughout, and the 50s and the fashion in the 50s, and the men, they wore higher waists, which actually was
that's
so
right.
much more attractive, and
Mm,
you can actually, and tighter sleeves, and proper fitted shirt, like.
I
And
know.
yeah, it's just, and it's amazing. And he's showing me, he's like, see, like, this is the shape of the shirt you got me. And look at what that does versus this shape. There's more flow. You can actually see
Mm,
structure, and you can see, it's more attractive. And the materials, I'm not allowed to choose material. Like, he is so,
that's good. I
I
like
know,
it.
I love
Bring
it
it
because
on.
he teaches me about it, and when I had him, I got it, the gift for him to get his colors done. This was like unleashed something in him, because he's so masculine, but he's so like, no, 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 like, you've got to look good. You've got to,
Mm,
feel
beautiful.
good and present yourself in this way. And
I
yeah,
love it.
so I'm not allowed to buy clothes for him.
That's
I've
good.
tried, and
Keep
I
it
had
that
to,
way. No, don't do it.
yeah, yeah, I had to take them all back. I was slightly offended, but then also he knows what he wants.
That's good. I like it.
So it's not just for women, but women, when it comes to expressing yourself and expressing your femininity,
Mm,
oh, we have so much trauma around this. And anything you can do to empower your femininity and
mm,
make you feel more comfortable in expressing it,
yeah.
knowing that 100% this works for me.
Mm.
It's a no-brainer, in my opinion. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there a, is there a, like, is there like a formula for working people out, or is it just like, because can you look at someone and go, well, you would be able to now, and I sometimes think I can, but not as detailed as you. I just, oh, blonde hair, blue eyes, you shouldn't be wearing black,
Mm.
or dark blues, or those kinds of colors. But is it like you look at someone and you can just go, I think this?
Yeah. So there are formulas for working out. There's like a little tick list you can go by. And
Hmm.
that's what I did when I did my own colors. When I
Oh,
started in that book,
yeah,
that's very deceiving because for me, for example, my skin tone has a yellow overtone but a blue undertone. And so I assumed I was a warm coloring. And I think also because my hair back then was long, I had
yeah,
long hair and the sun sort of bleached it slightly.
yeah,
And it had like a golden tint to it, I thought,
yeah,
but it didn't. It was an ash brown. And see, this is so for me, I work with that client in front of me or when I have the photo. So
yeah,
I don't actually look at the eye color and I don't look necessarily at the hair color that much. I
yeah,
do look at the hair color a little bit, but not eye color at all.
yeah,
And then I go by the skin tone and then I start with gold and silver first
yeah.
because they're quite, you can see quite a lot of a difference already with gold and silver. And then I go through all my different tones that I have.
Yeah, wow. And
Mm.
can you change color as you age, and, maybe the tone of your skin may slightly become
Mm.
lighter, or, d-
So
you know,
you actually don't change your complexion. So you don't turn then, from winter like you into a spring or something.
no.
It doesn't happen. But what might happen is that you have more of a preference for a certain color.
Mm.
So with your dark hair, you might go for the deeper tones right now, but if you would turn more gray, you might want brighter tones.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
So
see.
you
Yeah.
pick different tones. So that's how I sort of, as I've gone through the years, That's how I would see it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So, so good. I love this so much. I could talk for days about this topic. I think the challenge for me is because I know I look good in black,
Yeah.
that I end up just wearing so much black.
Black.
And I love like maroons and
Mm.
what's this called? Like a
Like a burgundy.
burgundy,
Yeah.
Shiraz, like those kind
Yeah. Beautiful.
those colors look like I look great in those
Mm.
colors. I love wearing like really deep purples
They're
and
gorgeous. Yeah.
yeah, like really, really, really deep purples and greens as well, like emerald green and
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah.
but I
I love
just
it.
can never find the right color and that's one of those colors that I'm like, oh, I really want to wear more of it, but I never find it in the right
Mm.
shading because a lot of greens will have a yellow
They do.
undertone or a soft, so
Mm.
I find it so difficult to find the right deep green, but I just want to wear all the green. Oh,
That's the challenge. Like once you know your color and then you want a certain color, you can't get it
yeah, because it's
because
so specific.
yeah, it's very specific. And then imagine you're like one of the 12 seasons and it's even more specific. Um,
That's wild.
it is wild, but it works for some.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the greens and I it's definitely I've noticed that too. Like I like certain tones and then I can't get them.
Mm,
But once they're there, you then grab them.
you
So you
get that.
don't you
Yeah.
don't really you don't get lost in that, that urge to constantly consume, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. Because
Mm.
you just have the reliable, this is good, this works, this is going to get me through, So and not just like get me through, but I know I'm gonna look well in this.
Mm. Mm.
Ah, it's just the best thing ever. I think
Mm.
everybody, man, woman, whoever you are, you've got to get your colors done. Gosh, it will change so much for you. And it doesn't matter if you're someone who's into fashion or not.
No, it
You don't have
doesn't.
to be into it, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's just people are selective with the kind of cars we drive.
That's right.
Well, you live in your clothes so much more than
Yeah.
you live in your cars.
They become you. Your clothes become you.
They
It's
really
an
do.
extension of yourself, the energy of you as well, what you
Yeah.
project outwards and inwards.
You
Yeah.
just triggered something for me. Do you think that like, when you think about the energetics of it, because, you know, you know what I do with numbers and
Mm.
stuff like that, and you can be operating in alignment with your own numbers, and then that will make your life either, so much more easeful
Mm.
when you understand the specific ways that you're supposed to operate in the world and all of this stuff versus if you're trying and forcing yourself to operate a certain way that you don't have the energy for, literally, you don't have the numbers for, it's going to feel resistance, hard.
Mm.
Do you feel like energetically that would have some impact on the colors you wear, as like your energy can either be radiated like through you, out you abundantly, and people can feel your radiance, or they get these blocks, like literally with the clothes that they're wearing and the colors that. Do you feel like that is a thing,
Yeah.
particularly now that you've incorporated Reiki into
Yeah.
the coloring?
It's definitely when you're aligned to your colors, it's like your numbers. You
Mm,
know what's right for you. You
yeah,
know what works for you. You feel confident. You have a different presence.
you definitely
Yeah.
have a different presence. And
Yeah.
I think even like for me to be able to say, I know I look good in XYZ, that in itself,
Mm.
the confidence that then will be, I'll be able to express myself even more so when I'm just, I love
It's
this.
kind of self-love as well.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
kind of self-love. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
self-love. And it's the
Self-love.
self-love, self-acceptance, and self-knowing, like
Yeah.
knowing yourself in this, know yourself in color.
Know yourself in color. Wow.
Yeah.
Another one to write down. Oh, you are on fire. With your burgundy. Shiraz.
Burgundy Shiraz. Yes, this was an op shop buy. I
It's
love it.
beautiful.
I absolutely love this top. Anyway,
I have this one fabulous client. I've known her for a very, very long time. She's now a friend.
yeah.
And when I first met her, she was in her mid 50s, I think, or early 50s. And she described herself as really large. And when I met her, she wasn't large at all. She looked like her own granny back then. And she knows, like she
Yes.
won't mind me talking about her like that. We always laugh because we have these photos of her and we laugh our heads off. And she's the most infectious
Mm.
person. And her colors, it's like she came back to life. And it's just really represented her from the inside out. And the difference is that was so ginormous, that difference between when I first met her and that now. She looks younger now than 15 years ago when I first met her. Is
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. It makes such a difference. It literally can reverse age you because you've been going through your life wearing these colors that just make you look old.
mm, that's right. But as you said, like you know your numbers, you know your life path. It was such a beautiful reminder for me as well. Really seeing what's important for me, um, and then seeing what I do. And
Mm.
I really I can step into my own power, not just through color, but also um, stepping into power through color. Come up with all these things. So it's my dog going in and out.
I
Um,
love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. This is amazing. Ah,
yeah.
so please, 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 because I want everybody to be like filling up your schedule with bookings
Mm,
because oh my gosh, if there's anything, so we are in the process of transitioning into this golden age, to this
mm.
Aquarian, heaven on earth, love everywhere, abundance, this,
Gorgeous.
we're in the process of transitioning, and people like you and I are sent to this earth, sent to this planet
Mm,
to support and help aid the transition for humanity. And wouldn't it just be so beautiful that in this reality that we then live in when it's here, speaking like we're on, it's a physical place, but it's where we are right now, just a different energetic and dimension and capacity and all this stuff. But wouldn't it just be incredible if the only time we all wore black was when we really were mourning? And if this new reality was so colorful and
mm.
vibrant, but balanced at the same time?
That's right. Just harmony, yeah. Harmony
Harmony,
of colors and numbers.
colors and numbers. People have asked me if certain numbers are associated with certain colors.
Oh, I like that. We need to work on that.
We need to work on that, and then
Oh,
that's episode
yes.
two.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, numbers have frequencies and energy. I am sure.
Yeah,
I am sure there is some connection. I'll dig deeper.
dig deeper, dig deeper. Yeah, because I
Gorgeous.
wonder if there's colors that would be more feminine colors and more masculine colors.
Yeah, definitely.
There's feminine numbers and masculine numbers.
Oh,
I
yes.
love planting seeds like this.
Oh, two is definitely feminine.
That's definitely feminine.
Hmm.
Yes.
So two is love.
Yeah.
So that's pink and green.
Yeah, and
Okay, we already know that.
the two is the softest of the
Mhm.
feminine energies.
Mm.
So soft, like the softest of the softest of the soft.
And three is truth.
3 is truth, authenticity,
Yeah.
creativity,
That's,
spontaneity.
is that a combination maybe of male and female, masculine?
Threes are masculine. It's more, I relate threes more to
Mm,
childlike frequency and, like playing. And you shared earlier,
mm,
like you just got to let children play
mm.
with the colors and let them
Yeah,
experience it. That's 3. Yeah.
it's light blue.
Yeah.
Mm. There
Ooh,
you go. We're already starting to work on that.
I like this.
Gorgeous.
Oh, so
Four.
four would be your solid colors, like the integrity, reliability colors, like your
Mm,
your blues and your whites and
mm,
you know what I mean, like those corporate suit colors. That would be 4 energy, unless it's a fours can also be like blue collar,
mm.
like the builders, construction, like
Yeah,
this.
gorgeous. Yeah, that's masculine. Yeah.
Fours are actually feminine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because
Mm,
because the it's the feminine that desires the routine, the reliability,
beautiful.
you know?
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
So, Miss Nina,
Mm.
please let everybody know where they can find you and book with you and talk to you and do all the things with you.
They can find me on Instagram. It's colors underscore by Nina.
Yay.
So by underscore Nina.
Yes.
Um, or on my website, www.ninasmith.com.au.
Amazing.
Nina Smith, very simple. Ninasmith.
Amazing. And we'll, of course, put all of the links in the little thingy below. It's the
Beautiful.
professional podcast thing to say. And they can all reach you. Um, and so you can do straight color
Mhm.
readings, or I love that you call it color readings, by the way. It's the
That's
best.
your idea. I had to say that.
It's the best.
So beautiful, so beautiful.
But it's not, you don't do an analysis.
Yeah, and I know because
Ugh.
that's what I said to you, like color image consultation or color analysis, that doesn't work, yeah, in
No, it
that
doesn't
field.
flow. It doesn't flow with who you are and what you
That's
actually
right.
do and all of this stuff. But color readings, on the other
Yes.
hand,
Cool. I love
oh,
it. I
that's
love it.
everything. That's everything. So
Gorgeous.
people can book a direct like color reading,
Yeah.
or they can do the Reiki infused.
Yes, that's right. And they can also book a group reading if they wanted to with friends.
Oh, so you can do like hens
Mm.
parties and
That's right. And online as well.
online as well.
Mm.
And they can book all of that through the website or
Or through the website, yeah. And
ah,
if they have questions, just message me on Instagram. Super easy.
yeah, because you're amazing and so just you just are amazing.
So are you, but thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am amazing. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Oh, you're relearning, you're seeing, you're beginning to
Yes.
see. Oh, Nina, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Mm,
This has been
thank you.
so much fun. I really hope you get busy as heck. I hope every person listening is like, why have I not heard of this before? You know? And there are apps and things now that you can get that do this with AI.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, people. Don't do it.
You can do it,
No,
but
no.
you want to see it for yourself, what happens with certain colors.
I
You
think
want
it,
to know what the color reflection does to you. It's so
yeah.
much deeper. Sorry, that's my dog barking.
Oh, couldn't hear it at all.
Good.
Couldn't hear it at all. No, no, I'm so much more of a fan of investing your money in the experience with
Yeah,
a human being, because yeah, it's just the same for me as when you can go online and you can download a numerology reading.
that's right. It's
Bah.
different.
That's
So true.
horrible. What the
So
heck?
true.
So
So true.
bad. So just go to Nina, people. Just go to Nina. You will be it will just be amazing. All right. All right. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, my dear. I have just
Thank
loved
you.
every second of this.